Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor. Welcome back to Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. And welcome back to my backyard raised bed gardens, you guys. Sun is shining, birds are chirping today. Beautiful, beautiful mild weather, absolutely no wind. So I wanted to come out and to sow, direct sow four carrot varieties into my raised garden over here, raised bed garden, you guys. So come with me, let's get planting. So everyone enjoys a sweet, crunchy, delicious carrots. However, carrots do have a reputation, you guys. The reputation is that many gardeners do find them a bit tricky to grow. So today, I wanted to show you how I sow my carrot seeds in my home garden and how easy breezy this process can be. So if you like this video, click thumbs up, leave your comments below, and if you haven't yet done so, subscribe to my channel, Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor. So carrots are a cool season crop, which typically gets sown into the ground either late winter or early spring. Carrots are an excellent source of vitamin A, and it is one of those root vegetables which can be eaten both raw and or cooked, you guys. So carrots have this natural sweetness to them. However, that sugar component which gives carrots its sweetness starts to deplete and be replaced with fiber the longer the carrots are grown and or stored in your local grocery store, which is why those carrots that we buy in our local grocery store very often do not taste as sweet as they actually should be. Carrots have a reputation for being one of the hardest, most difficult vegetables to grow, especially if you guys have heavy, compact, or clayous soil in your home garden. Carrots prefer sunny locations with 6 to 10 hours of direct sunlight a day. If you're planning to sow and grow carrots, regardless of the variety, you have to make sure that your soil is free draining, you guys. If your soil is heavy, very compact, contains lots of clay, then yes, you should consider growing your carrots either in large pots and or containers or in raised garden beds, which is exactly how I prefer to grow my carrots. So if you do decide to grow your carrots in either a pot or in a raised garden bed, make sure that the height of your container and or your raised garden bed is at least 8 to 12 inches. So carrots can be sown as early as 2 to 3 weeks before your last frost date. Carrot seeds will germinate in cooler soil with soil temperatures as low as 40 degrees. Ideal temperature to grow carrot is 55 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. If the temperature goes above 75 degrees Fahrenheit, that is when your carrots will begin to struggle. So here in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A, our last anticipated frost date for this year is April 15th. So what happens to carrots if you plant them or grow them when the air temperatures are 75 degrees or above? High temperatures will stunt the carrots growth, guys, and will reduce the quality and the flavor, causing the flavor of your carrots to become too bitter. Remember, carrot is a cool season, cool weather loving vegetable. So after you chose the raised garden bed in which you will plant, again, mine has been sitting here overwintering since the end of fall. I added land and sea compost to this raised garden bed mid-fall, right before the cold temperatures came, and it's been sitting like this for me since then. So what I have to do now, I have to diligently loosen the soil. Again, carrots will not grow successfully for you if your soil is too compact. If you have any soil clumps in your soil, any stones, any rocks, or any unnecessary debris. So you have to make sure your raised garden bed is all clean and you remove any soil clumps and any stones and or rocks. So let's get started. So first and foremost, if you have any dead dry leaves, any pine needles, you want to get rid of them. You do not want any excess debris inside your raised garden bed. Then you take your tool. So if it's a larger space, you can use a shovel or a hoe. But the point is you want to loosen, really get in there, deep in there. Because remember, you need at least 10 to 12 inches of depth to get that appropriate length of your carrot roots. So you want to, again, you want to make sure that you decompact. If you find any soil clumps, you use your hands. You want to break down any clumps that potentially developed in your soil. Here I have my son, my helper Leonard. He's helping me loosen up that soil while I am getting my organic land and sea compost all ready for this raised garden bed. Leonard, working hard today? Yeah, keep going, man. Try to get as deep in there as you can, bud. Keep loosening up that soil. So after you loosen up your soil, you need to amend your soil with compost. And if your soil is already not loose and airy, you will need at least 6 inches of sandy topsoil. My soil is loose and it's airy, so I will not be needing any sandy topsoil today. I will just be amending my soil with fresh organic land and sea compost as soon as my son is all done over here. So now, if your soil is very dry, you need to diligently hose it off, water it to the point where it's nice and moist. So we had a full day yesterday and full night overnight of pouring rain here in Long Island, New York. So our soil today is actually very moist and very wet to the touch, which is perfect. So I will not be adding any additional water to this raised garden bed because the condition and the soil moisture is just perfect the way it needs to be. So remember, guys, you need to amend your soil regardless of the quality of your soil with some fresh compost prior to sowing your seeds. So now that we cleaned out, we diligently decompacted our soil, now it's time to add in the compost. Again, I am using the organic land and sea compost today. It is an Espoma organic product. If you have a different compost you choose to use, prefer to use, by all means use it. But you must add compost prior to sowing your seed. So here you go, guys. Now Leonard is using our hefty garden tool over here to mix in the compost into our soil. Good job, man. Come on, mix them together. Mix them together. You can see the color difference, guys. So the darker black was our soil, is our soil. And the lighter brown, the airy, the loose stuff, that is our land and sea compost. The goal is to mix it in. So again, I am planting 4 carrot varieties today. This year I have the Fairy Moors brand, and I have the Scarlet, the Tender Sweet, the Long Imperator, and the Red Cord. So these are the 4 that I will be planting. So the goal essentially is to make 4 long horizontal rows going all the way across. So when it comes to sowing your carrot seeds, when it comes to carrots, you must sow your seeds directly into the ground. Carrots do not like to have their roots disturbed if you are transplanting. So no transplanting this vegetable. You gotta sow 1/4 inches deep and 2 to 3 inches apart in rows of 1 foot apart. Again, because we're planting 4 carrot varieties today, guys, we need 4 separate rows. So how do you make a row? You can either use your hand, the back of your hand like this, and you push a little bit. You make that long indentation. Remember the rule. At least, ideally, you want it to be 1/4 inch in depth. So I go all the way across like so. I also have a tool like this, which you can use by any means. You don't have it, you can use your hand like I just showed you. But if you have this tool, very easy. Apply a little pressure and pull it. Drag it all the way across, and here is your row. Again, I need 4 rows. Make sure you leave enough space between each of the rows to make sure that your carrots get nice and large. You do not want to end up with short, stunted sized carrots. So here you go, guys. We are working on our 3rd row for our carrots, right, Leonard? So here you go, guys. Our 4 even rows are complete. So what is the next step, guys? Let me show you. So now, when sowing your seeds, try to distribute your seeds in an even fashion. Why? So that your seeds will not grow too close together. I know, guys, how tiny carrot seeds are and how easy it is to sow them too thick and too quickly. So try not to rush. Try to take your time and spread them as evenly as possible. Also, you have to keep your soil moist. Yes, in order for carrot seeds to germinate, your soil has to be very, very, very moist. And make sure that there is no crust, dry crust forming on top of your soil. So carrots are one of those vegetables which sometimes are super slow to germinate, you guys. It could take between 14 to even 21 days to see any sort of germination. So if 10 days go by, 14 days go by, and you still do not see any germinations, do not lose, hope. Give it a little more time. For continued harvest, plant your seeds roughly every 4 weeks through mid-summer. So I think we're going to start with our Scarlet carrot variety first. I opened up the packet and I just wanted to show you guys, for those of you who have never seen a carrot seed before, how tiny these seeds really are. So here you go. So when you are planting, again, try to take your time. Do not rush. You do not want to plant your seeds way too close together. It is okay to eventually thin them once they will come up, and you will see first 3 to 4 true leaves. That means it is time to potentially thin out your carrots. But do you see, guys, I am not just throwing my carrot seeds everywhere. I am taking my time and I am carefully sprinkling the seeds. Again, you do not want to put too much. You want to spread them out as evenly as possible. If you feel that some areas didn't get seeds, you can always go over and add as many as you feel is needed. So that is it for the first row, you guys. So as you could see, the scarlet variety of carrot, it says takes up to 65 days from the time you plant to harvest. My second variety over here, the red cord, according to the packet, it can take as long as 70 days to harvest. The third, the tender sweet variety, also 70 days. And then my fourth, the long imperator, 72 days to harvest. So when your seedlings are at least 1 inch tall and you do see 3 to 4 true leaves on your seedlings, that is the time to thin your carrot seedlings, guys. When thinning your seedlings, make sure that you keep your seedlings 3 to 4 inches apart. Also, when thinning your seedlings, never ever pull on the seedlings that you're trying to discard off. Instead, use clean, sharp scissors to cut off the tops. Why? Because you do not want to damage the fragile root system of the remaining carrot seedlings. So the next variety, the second variety, I'm going to do the red cord. So basically, same concept, you guys. I'm going to use my second row. Seeds look exactly the same, which is why I'm going to eventually label all 4 of my rows. You pick up your seeds slowly with your fingers and you get into your rows. And again, take your time, guys. You do not want to put too many seeds way too close to each other. So one of the reasons why your carrot seeds might be giving you a hard time or won't germinate or will germinate at very low quantities is because of the moisture level. They need a good, excellent moisture level in the beginning stages, at least in the first 7 to 14 days, in order to even germinate. So what do I use to help me retain that moisture in my raised garden bed with my carrot seeds? So I use coconut coir. Yes, this fluffy, lightweight ingredient is a lifesaver, you guys. For those of you who have never heard about this product or ever used this product, this is an organic product made from the coconut shells, which helps retain moisture. And many gardeners use this instead of seed starting mix to help with seed germination. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to diligently sprinkle coconut coir on top of my 4 rows where I already sprinkled the carrot seeds. So come, let's get started. Most of the time, coconut coir is sold as one dry, solid block. So what you need to do is you need to take a bucket or a container, place your dry block in your container, add water. And as you could see, now there is no more solid block. This moistens and loosens up your coconut coir, and now this is all ready for use. So what you do now is you go to your rows, which you could see I have 1, 2, all the seeds already sprinkled inside. You could see that as well. So now I take my coconut coir and I simply fill in each row with coconut coir. So all you do is you go horizontally to each one of your rows and you fill in your rows where you already placed your seed with coconut coir. That's what I like to do. You go row by row. It's going to help retain the moisture, which is exactly what your carrot seeds need. Is moisture, 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 guys, in order to germinate. Because I am planting 4 different carrot varieties today, I cannot forget to label each of my rows, because as these carrots will start coming up, they will look absolutely identical. So I cannot and I do not want to confuse my seedlings. So all 4 of my labels are written and in place. So what you want to do next is you want to just lightly even out, cover up your rows. Again, the seeds are so tiny, you do not want to bury them too much, just a little bit. Just gently cover each of the rows up like so. So when growing, carrots need at least 1 inch of water a week, whether that water comes from your garden hose and or Mother Nature rain. 1 inch of water is ideal for growing carrots. So all 4 of my carrot seed varieties are now sowed in my garden. So again, because moisture level is absolutely crucial, like I said, the first week to 2 weeks for your seeds to germinate. If you are really concerned about water retention, or maybe you live in a very dry climate zone, you can always use either cardboard pieces, any cardboard from any box. You cut the cardboard to fit and you place your cardboard on top of your raised garden bed and maybe lay some stones or some bricks on top to hold the cardboard in place. This will also help you retain moisture in your soil. You wait 5 days or so, and then you try to lift up your cardboard and to see if your seeds have germinated. If you're started to see germination, pull, of course, your cardboard off. If you do not want to use cardboard, you can also use very thin wooden planks and or panels to do the same thing. However, we are expecting more rain tonight, you guys. Yes, more heavy rain is on the way for tonight and tomorrow. So for now, I will not cover up my raised garden bed over here. I will leave it open and exposed, hoping that tonight's rain will give it that little more moisture that it absolutely needs right now. And then I will check on my soil. If I will feel that there is not enough moisture going into my soil, into my carrot seeds, of course I will water soil accordingly. So this is it for this video, you guys. Thank you for joining me here today on this beautiful, sunny, warmer day here in Long Island, New York. Today we sowed 4 different carrot varieties from seed in my raised garden bed. If you liked this video, do not be shy, guys. Click thumbs up. Go below and leave your beautiful, positive, pleasant comments. I love reading your comments, and I will personally respond to each and every one of you. And if you haven't yet done so, don't be shy. Do not wait any longer. Go below this video and click the subscribe button so you will never ever miss any of my new upcoming gardening episodes. Again, thank you for allowing me to show you how I tackle this beast of a vegetable called carrot. Hopefully, I was able to give you some helpful tips and some helpful gardening advice today. Again, stay happy, healthy, and well. And I will see you guys again soon in my next garden video. Bye!